Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I am here today with
Dana
and Evan.
We are doing some spring prospecting. When the rivers are flooded, there's still things to do in the hills. Today, we're looking for a new claim. So wish us luck, and I hope you enjoy. One thing I love to do for prospecting is checking out brand new forestry logging roads. This road here is just pushed through. You can see there's even equipment from them pushing it through in the background. And what brand new roads do is they expose some brand new exposures. Now what we're looking for today is actually a very historic exposure, but having a brand new road here may have exposed some things that we haven't been able to see for a long time, or maybe even parts of the exposure that are brand new to us. So let's go check it out. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly where we are right now because we have not yet claimed this spot. This is open ground, no claims here. And we're investigating it to see if possibly we will do some claims here in the near future. Now, if you are familiar with my local area and the stories and the history, you might actually have heard this area's story before. And if we do claim it, we will be doing lots of videos from here explaining the whole geology of this deposit. But what we are looking for today on this brand new logging road is some slough material. The bank that has like a landslide has brought down a whole bunch of material. We're looking for some slough material from up there that has come down this draw, and as the landslide cut through and broke bedrock away, it would have cut through a conglomerate rock, a conglomerate deposit in the bedrock up there, and brought down material. This bank here should be debris from that landslide that cut through that conglomerate material. There will be lots of topsoil mixed in with it, but there should also be some of the rounded pebbles from the conglomerate broken up and deposited into this soil. And you can definitely see that here. This is very much sort of like topsoil stuff, but in amongst it is rounded, broken up rocks from the conglomerate that would have broken up and come down the hill. That's what we're looking for today. And we're going to take a sample of it for sure. Now, what the hired help is doing today is we have buckets that they're gonna fill up from the slough. We have 10 buckets in here that we are gonna fill up, 10 buckets right full to the top. 10 buckets full is exactly 1/4 yard of material. We're gonna take 1/4 yard of the material back, run it through the Highbanker, and see if it shows gold that we know is in that conglomerate rock. This stuff will have been processed by nature, broken up. The conglomerate will have been broken up, so we should be able to extract gold from it, if the gold is there. So Evan, your job is to fill these 4 buckets from this spot right here. What we are looking for is the orangish looking material, specifically orange material that has these rounded rocks all through it. This spot looks good, Ev. Right there looks good. See how it's a bit oranger than the rest? You are gonna fill those 4 buckets right to the top from those 2 spots right there. I'll find another spot for Mom to work.
Okay.
I just get to sit back and look good. No, I will work too. Now, as a YouTube prospector here in British Columbia, I have to be so unbelievably careful that I don't break rules, because, you know, any kind of rule that I come even close to breaking, and those, you know, internet warriors out there, the experts, are all over me. And you know, they're not over me in a nice way either. They say I should lose my mining certificate, I should go to jail, I should be tarred and feathered, I should be hung, I should be shot. They're so cruel about, you know, things that I may have, you know, mistakenly broken a rule on. And you know, as I'm planning this little trip here today, I started thinking in my head, am I allowed to take this material from an unclaimed spot, take it back to my property, and process it and check for gold? And you know, I am not entirely positive sure I am. I can't think of any rule I'm breaking here. This is not claimed, this is crown land. I plan to stake this, but I'm not positive I'm allowed to do this. You know, The ministry watches me. They watch everything I do. If I'm not allowed to do this, they will tell me for sure. And they're very pleasant about it. I don't know. Maybe some of you experts out there in BC mining laws can tell me, am I allowed to take a quarter-yard sample away from nature, take it back to my property and process it? I think I'm allowed. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, Dane. There's 4 buckets for you. There's a big orange stain right there. Let's try to get the material that has the most sort of cobbles in it. I'm seeing a really good spot right there, full of gravels. Let's fill these 4 buckets and see what we get. Yeah, perfect. You know, rusted, round, river run rocks. That is what we're looking for. That's the broken up conglomerate for sure. Let's hope it's got some gold in it. Now, just a little bit of the geology here. Again, I'll tell you more about this if this actually turns into something. This is an old river channel from, you know, billions of years ago. Okay, probably millions. But a long, long time ago, a river ran through the whole province of BC that, you know, later dried up, got diverted by glaciers, all that kind of stuff, and left a big channel of river gravels that then got buried by lavas, buried by nature, and the gravels turned into a conglomerate. That's river gravels that are glued together by nature. A conglomerate that has good gold quantities in it. Now, Mother Nature, you know, has eroded a lot of it, moved it around, you know, plate tectonics have done all sorts of stuff to it, but anywhere that gravel, that conglomerate, actually gets turned back into gravel by rivers or landslides, shows placer gold in a hard rock deposit, which is really fascinating to have placer run gold in the bedrock, in that conglomerate. This is one of those spots along this whole side of the valley of the Okanagan Lake here is all covered in this sort of sections, portions of this conglomerate that show placer gold. We're hoping in a quarter yard we get, you know, just 1 or 2 flakes would be enough to tell us we're on the right track and we need to start moving uphill looking for that conglomerate. My family is awesome. Look at this. Working away while I just stand back here and film.
Yeah, what's up with that? I'll film.
Dana filled 4 buckets in a matter of minutes there. Evan's still working on his first.
Second.
Oh, he's on his second now. Dana's working on her 6th right now. We are gonna get 10 buckets in no time. We've definitely found this one spot that Evan's digging right now has the best looking stuff. The stuff up there and the stuff sort of down where Evan was originally. The rocks and gravel were just on the surface. You got below the surface, it turned to clay. You can sort of see that right here, that there's a material that's sort of sandy and gravelly up there, and then it turns to clay. Evan's managed to find some of the sort of sandy, gravelly stuff that's more deeperish. There's a good word. Dana found a little bit of a wash coming out of the hill that has some gravels in it, so she's taking a sample from the wash. Again.
You're enjoying the sunshine.
I'm enjoying the sunshine. Yes, this little wash coming out of the hill here definitely has a lot more of the washed gravels. They don't show the rusted look that we're hoping for, but that could be that, you know, the wash is just washed the gravels cleanerish. Cleanerish. My English is good today. Evan just brought over a rock saying, look at this quartz. And that's actually one thing that this conglomerate is known for, is that the very, very high percentage of the gravels coming out of it are quartz rocks. Good job, Ev. And there's something else I'm not entirely positive of when it comes to rules. This area here, I'll be able to put a mineral claim on. Mineral claims are, you know, working the bedrock. Placer claims are working gravels of rivers. Now, there is no river within, you know, 100 miles of here. Okay, not really, a long, long ways. And this stuff all comes from a conglomerate that's just up the hill. Conglomerate is hard rock, is bedrock, but I'm not positive if this would be considered a placer deposit or if it'd be considered a mineral deposit, because originally these rocks were from a riverbed, but nature has turned them back into bedrock, into a conglomerate, which is now crumbling and coming down the hill. Is this a mineral or is this a placer? Again, if you've got any answers for me, leave it in the comments below. Dig, boy, dig! Dig harder! Dig harder! Mom's coming to help. Dad's just making fun of you. And once the buckets are all full, we're gonna go have a look up there in the hillsides to see if we can see where this sort of draw washed down this sort of landslide and see what's up there, see if there's any more deposits up there. There should be some ancient workings around, very, very old workings around, because there are actually 3 known exposures, one way over there, one right here, and one way over there. And the exposure here says it's just up the hill, so we might be able to see some old workings of where they were working this way back when. Now that's what I need for digging. Oh yeah. Har, 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 har. That's what I've got for digging. Oh yeah. Har, 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 har. Uh-oh, the bucket's sunk into the mud and fell over. That one's about to go too. Luckily they didn't dump their contents out. So looking at this material, I would guess we're talking like 3/4 of it is just, you know, topsoil and, you know, overburden, where about 1/4 or maybe even only 1/5 of it is actually, you know, sand and gravel from the broken up conglomerate. So that we're just going to make a bit of a sort of guess. I'm going to say 1/4, so that when we go and do our evaluation, run this through the Highbanker and see what kind of gold's in there, that we can sort of say that the broken up conglomerate has, you know, X amount of gold, and we can, per, you know, yard, but we'll have to do a bit of calculations to say, you know, only 1/4 of it was actually the broken up conglomerates, 3/4 of it was topsoil. So a little bit of math will be required once we start processing this. Now we don't have a lot of water around, but we do have a little bit of a puddle here, and Evan just filled up a pan. One single pan is not a great test of this, not when we have, you know, the ability to test 1/4 yard, but I want to see what's in one pan, and since Evan filled it up and we have water, let's do it. Oh, it's like, I'm hoping the sinking stops at some point. There we go. Mix it all up real good. Yeah, this feels very clayey material. A lot of clay in there, a lot of topsoil, not much gravel. Nothing like panning in a puddle. So a full pan goes down to 1/4 pan very, very quickly. And that's just rinsing off all of the, you know, clay and very light gravel, or very light topsoil. So there's probably really only, you know, 1/4 of that is really gravels in there. Well, no gold, nothing all that interesting in there. But as I said, you know, it's just one little pan. We need to do a real test up here. Should we do a test from that wash as well, Ev?
Sure.
Let's do it. I think I'm stuck. Evan decided that, well, actually Dana decided that, you know, checking where the water is actually flowing and concentrating the gravels a little bit might be a good spot. So they're going to fill up the pan from right there in a second. Just going to show the material. Not much sort of exciting in there to see. And there you go. Let's hope the next pan is a bit more exciting. Well, a really nice garnet, but no gold. Let's take a close-up of that garnet. Well, it's not the gold we're looking for, but that's a really nice garnet. Let's hope the bigger sample will show us the gold.
Might be half a yard of material in the back of your truck.
Maybe. Who knows how much gold's in the back of that truck? Should pan out the sweepings of the truck. Well, here we are for day 2. I am off the claim now. I'm back here at my, private property, my place. I'm down by the creek. My house and everything is up the hill. My shop, everything's up there. I'm down by the creek so that I can actually run the Highbanker today to empty those 10 buckets into that hopper, which will go through that sluice using dream mats and hopefully capture the gold. I was really lucky. I was able to back my truck right up to the sluice. I can just bring the buckets over, tip them in, and go. This should be simple. And since I am asking all these sort of gray area questions today, let's do one here too. Am I allowed to run a Highbanker on my private property? This is not a claim. This is not a private claim. This is a private property. I own it. But am I allowed to run mining equipment here? I know I'm not allowed to dig and actually process material from this land without a claim here, because I don't own the mineral rights. But am I allowed to do mining activities, such as the Highbanker, on my property? I think I am. I think I am. Am I allowed to dig from my property and run through the Highbanker? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I would need a claim here to do that. I am allowed to dig the foundation of my house that I built up there, yes, but I don't think I'm actually allowed to run the dirt from that foundation through the Highbanker. Again, comment below if you know different. Now let's see how much time it takes to run 10 buckets through my Highbanker. Let's go. Hopper's at a much lower angle. It should wash a lot better. And for those of you who think I am growing pot on my property, unfortunately no, this is just a weed that grows in the Okanagan here that has a similar leaf to a pot leaf. It's just a weed, and it's not weed. Well, there we go. 26 minutes to run a 1/4 yard of material. Well, the little Highbanker did a great job. It ran a 1/4 yard of material in half an hour. So I guess you could say that this Highbanker can run, half a yard an hour. The dream mats look good. I'll open things up in a second, have a closer look inside, and we're sure hoping we see some gold. Gold! Gold! Well, a quick glance of these dream mats, and I don't see any gold in them. But of course, the gold could be hidden down in all the wells. That's actually more likely to be where the gold is down inside the wells. It kind of makes sense I don't see it. Also, it could possibly be there is no gold. Let's clean this out and find out. My theory behind sort of takes on this is that if I find 1 or 2 pieces of gold, it means nothing, because that could just be random dumb luck. If I find, 5 flakes of gold in here, well, then I need to do more investigation. If I find 10 flakes of gold in 10 buckets, I kind of think I know how much the average grade of this will be once I weigh that all and figure it out. So that's the thought. Let's go see the reality. So I just drove up the hill to my workshop here where I have the big panning tub, which is apparently full of mosquito larvae. Ooh, I'm breeding mosquitoes. I gotta deal with that. Fill up the pan with water here. We'll wash the mats out in the pan. I rinsed out the Highbanker into the pan, so that's what the little bit of gravel in the bottom is. Carefully wash out the dream mats into the pan. One reason I love dream mats is how easy they are to clean. And that's what I have to pan out right there. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Let's hope these are lucky mosquito larvae today. As I said, 1 or 2 flakes tells me nothing. 5 or 6, tells me I need more investigation. 10 or more tells me I'm onto something. Of course, I have to weigh things out after that. And of course, this is a known deposit. It's known to have gold. That's why I'm working it, or investigating it. It's just whether or not the slough has gold, or if I have to go find the actual bedrock, that actual conglomerate. That's the question. Okay, let's have a look. Let's find some sunshine. Now, I know I've asked lots of questions about interpretation of BC, Canada rules. And I know most of my viewers aren't here in BC, Canada. They're all over the world. But what I'm getting at here is that it's very important that you follow the rules. And there are so many rules out there in prospecting, you can't know it all. But if you try your hardest to follow everything you can, and don't try to go out of your way to break rules, you're gonna be just fine. In fact, the inspectors have told me here, they're not out after the guys that have made an honest mistake. They're out after those people that are making mistakes on purpose, that they know are wrong. They're trying to break the rules. So, as always, I am doing my very best to stay within the rules here in British Columbia. But I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I don't know every little detail of those rules. I am trying my best. So for those of you who love to hate me and want to say that I'm breaking rules and I should be, hung and tarred and feathered and shot, I'm doing my best. I'm trying my hardest, and I'm trying to educate the public in everything that I can. I know haters are gonna hate and I should just let it go, but I can't. Anyhow, let's go see the results. Okay, what do we have? Come on, gold. Okay, there be gold. There's no big gold though, it's just small. Not a bad amount. Interesting. Let's get the close-up on that and show you what it looks like in there. And I expected to see a lot more garnets than I just saw. That's the other commodity, if you will, in this known deposit is garnet. Curiouser and curiouser. There we go. So definitely gold, no doubt about that, in sort of, large quantities of tiny pieces, but I was definitely hoping for the big flat flakes it talks about up there. Well, what this means is that I have to go find that conglomerate and take a sample of the conglomerate, crush it down, and see what it has in it, because that's a significant enough amount of gold to warrant further investigation. Not bad. Where are the garnets though? They should be here. And upon further investigation, there are a lot of garnets in there. Just have to get the sun hitting it right for me to see them. But yes, garnets in the gravel, like expected. Gold, like expected, but not the size of pieces I was hoping for. Let's go find that conglomerate and see what we can do with it. Well, there you go. The prospect is showing promise. Probably enough for me to claim that one spot and then, investigate more around. I have to find where that conglomerate is exposed on the surface and take some samples. That's, it's all nice to work that logging road where they've exposed the slough. Easy to dig, easy to process, but, it's not giving me the information I really need. I found some gold, I found some garnets, I had a lot of fun with my family, and I got to do some high banking. All in all, I'd call that a win. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription already, I hope I've earned your subscription now. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make these weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Hope you're all having an amazing day. I am. And until the next one, bye.